Hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. And today I am rambling on about the Transformers Age of the Primes Skybite. Finally got me a Skybite because Skybite is awesome. We all know this. Skybite is one of the best characters in Transformers. Easily the best character from the show. He was in Transformers Robots in Disguise 2001, or Car Robots to go by its Japanese incarnation. And yes, he's finally got a new toy. And I say that like it's been that long. I mean, he was in Cyberverse. I could have bought those, but I didn't really collect Cyberverse. And I wasn't able to get the Frilling Ferdy version, which apparently I dodged a bullet on because I've heard that version is not that good. But this version is awesome. It's amazing, and I love it. This is another freaking contender for top Transformer of the year. So many good ones this year. So many good ones. Transformers fans are eating in 2025. A really good lineup. As usual with Skybites, as every version of Skybite we've ever had, except for the Collectors Club version. Or I guess it was technically a BotCon version. He is a great white shark, a cybernetic great white shark. Because if you know nothing about Skybite, and this happens to be a video you're watching, I don't expect that to be, but just in case, in Robots in Disguise 2001, or Car Robots to call it by its Japanese version, the whole big sell of it, which is why it was called Car Robots, is because it was a show they didn't know if Hasbro was going to bring over, so they thought it might be Japan only, and they wanted to bring back vehicles to Transformers after all the Beast Wars stuff. And because it's a Japan-led show, and in Japan, good guys sell so much more than bad guys to the point where they almost never make bad guy toys. Every villain in that show, aside from Megatron, is a reused toy from the various years. So, they wound up reusing some Beast Wars toys, even though they were trying to go back to vehicles. And Skybite was a repaint of Transmetal Cybershark. And yeah, he's a really cool one, too. I think he looks better than Cybershark with all his blues and his silvers and his gunmetal grays and his yellows, but that's more for the robot mode. You can see robot bits under him, but I mean, it had to go somewhere, so it's inevitable. That's fine. And I'm actually wondering if this Skybite, of all the updates of Skybite we've gotten over the years, maybe the first one to get a Cybershark repaint. And at first I thought, yeah, they never did it before, they'll never do it now, but then I remembered they reissued the original non-transmetal Cybershark for the Rise of the Beast Wars reissues. You know, when they were reissuing Beast Wars toys to tie into that movie, there was an original Cybershark that was just a hammerhead shark. It wasn't a transmetal because transmetals weren't a thing yet, which means Cybershark's name is in Hasbro's trademark library. So we might get a Cybershark out of this mold, because they've got to renew that trademark now. But for now, we got Skybite, and I'm going to enjoy that. And he's got a good bit of motion for a Beast Transformer. You can rotate his fins, mostly because they are removable. But, you know, he's got a little rotation in his fins. You can give him some personality that way. He's got his opening jaw. He's even got a hinge for his head to look down, and you can get him on a flight stand, I guess, and display him like that, interacting with characters if you want. And because of the way his transformation works, you can even hinge his tail for some swimming motion, and you can rotate this. But his default stance is just a straight shark, and I believe the previous, like the original Transmetal toy and the Frilling Ferdy movie, the Frilling Ferdy one were both curved. Like, I believe one of them was curved this way, and the other one was like going like this, like a way this toy can't bend, basically. Like, there's not really a good way to show it without having the real toy. But other than that, he's basically just a toy shark. He can be like, "Hi, it's me, Skybite. I'm talking to you, kind of, because my joint isn't loose enough to properly match two words." And yeah, you can have fun with him. He's an articulated enough shark, and also he's got some tabs in here to hold his double-barreled gun to have it shooting out of his mouth, which was something he did in the show sometimes, and I believe you could do with the original toy. I'm not quite sure about that. But this is the one big problem with this new version is you can only store the gun in the mouth like this. There's nowhere else anywhere to put it. You'd think you'd be able to put it in there, but no, in that 5mm port. But it just bumps into everything here. It cannot be ported in there. Other weapons could be, but not the one that he comes with. But overall, it is a really good shark. Really sizable, too, if we bring in other updated Robots in Disguise characters with Sideburn and Scourge. It's very sizable. It's arguably maybe out of scale. I mean, as a shark it would be, but I mean the character of Skybite. I think he might be a little bit out of scale, but it's such a good figure that I don't care, especially because I'm one of the few people who likes this Sideburn, but he's not that great. And, you know, this is an okay figure, but it's a bit too complicated for an update of this Prime/Scourge, whatever, design. Like, I like these toys, but they're not that great. I mean, this one's pretty fine, but this one is better than both of them easily. He's a wonderful update. Lots of good details we haven't really focused in on. He's got all this nice tech greeble looking kind of like ripped up skin, and I love this scar over his eye, and he's got extra scratches on this side of his face too. Just really nice looking, visually appealing RoboShark toy. Now we gotta get to his robot mode. And what a robot mode it is. A very, very nice, very accurate robot mode. Aside from the missing shoulder pads, and what's going on here, they are removable. They come not connected to the figure in the packaging, just sliding on 5mm pegs like usual with Transformers for like a freaking ever almost. And basically, I guess you could maybe port weapons onto these if you want for customization, if those weapons have ports on them anyway, which would be kind of cool. And you do not have to remove them for transformation. I just do most of the time to make it a little bit easier, and you can have him like trooping down like this, going up. And he's a very tall figure. Again, he feels maybe a bit too large, but he's really cool, so I don't care that much about that. He, of course, has his big claw hand, which the blue and white fins are articulated. The gold ones are not because of how they have to hinge down for transformation. They don't really have room for an extra hinge to articulate, so only 2 of them move, but that's okay. He's got his big claw hand that he's known for in his regular hand. His chest details that looks like a shark's face, even though that's definitely not the face of the shark that he turns into. And this blue paint here that looks really good, but will also probably get scratched up over time, which I can accept that. There's already a little missing bit on mine. This big purple spark crystal that he can shoot lasers out of like in the show. The almost insect-like detailing on this other eye on his chest. And there's his nice, beautiful face with the big shark fin coming out of his head. A very, very well done sculpt. It feels very much like the character of Skybite as he was depicted in the show. It's very, very nice looking. He's got usual articulation for Transformers. Nothing is really hindered. He's got all the things, ankle tilts. I guess he only has rotation in this wrist, not this one, if that bothers you. He's got the waist, shoulders, elbows, head, hips, swiveling, hinge and knees. Nothing is really encumbered here. He's a very, very good looking figure, and the only real problem with him in robot mode is the same one he had in beast mode, where the only place for him to store the gun is in his hand, and I do not really like the gun as a handgun. I think it looks a bit silly. You can't even store it here on his back if you remove his fins, because just like the port on his arm, there's no way for this to really make clearance with the shark body parts. So this just has to stand by the side if you don't want him using it. And as for the fins, you can have him hold these like swords. The instructions show you doing it like this, giving him like a dual-sided blade thing, which that's alright. Might look a little bit cooler. If we do it this way, it looks like he can actually hit people with it. So if you like that, you can do that. I kind of just like him using his claw hand, as well as pretending he's got his little chest laser, like in the show. So yeah, we're just going to put these back. And come on. Yeah, he is simple, but he's big. He feels nice in the hand, and he looks amazing. So he's a really good overall figure. This is definitely, in my opinion, the best update we've gotten from Robots in Disguise 2001. I never got the HasLab because I wasn't going to pay that price, and I think I'm done with HasLabs personally myself. But apparently that thing had QC issues. So yeah, this is definitely the best update from the 2001 series so far, and he's the character from that series who deserves updates the most, because he is definitely the best part of that show. But speaking of other updates from that show, let's do a little bit of a comparison. Boop. You're freaked out when doing the size comparisons, so we'll quickly do them again. We got Scourge, his rival, for Megatron's favor. Even though Scourge betrayed Megatron, Skybite never did. Megatron betrayed him, but Skybite got it good in the end, as he deserves to have. So these two look nice together. You can see this is where I'm talking about him being out of scale. Like, he feels too tall compared to Scourge. I'm currently rewatching the series, actually, because of this toy being so good. It made me want to rewatch the series, but I haven't gotten to Scourge's introduction yet. But I definitely remember him being taller than Skybite. And then we will bring in Sideburn. And yeah, Skybite is definitely the best update this show has ever gotten so far. I could also bring in the Toeline figure, but I despise that mold, so I will leave it buried wherever I buried it. But yeah, Sideburn, he's not that great, but I still kind of like him. And since he is a deluxe, you can kind of sort of get Skybite's claw to wrap around him. You'll have to finagle a little bit with the various joints of the prongs, but he can technically hold a deluxe figure, but they are a bit heavy for him just being a Voyager. Maybe it'll work with like a core class or a Legion, Legend, whatever we used to call that no longer existing price point to be, you know, like the smaller figures. He could probably hold those just fine. And I mean, he can hold deluxes, but he would need a support for his arm to keep them in the air. So, yeah, I still think he looks nice with these guys. And Sideburn and Scourge kind of have the opposite of each other's problems. Whereas Sideburn was a very complicated design that kind of made that original toy annoying from what I've heard. He's been simplified so much that he's kind of a little odd, mostly because of these shoulders. But I still get enough enjoyment out of this toy to like it, to keep him around. And Scourge was a very simple toy that didn't really need any updating, but he was given all this needless overcomplication, and I think it was mostly just so he could have a fricking Matrix gimmick, because apparently every Optimus Prime mold needs to have a tiny little Matrix they can't even hold. Whereas Skybite has no compromises like that. He has been changed so that the shape of the shark is different, but I think every change that has been done to him was beneficial. I don't think there are really any big flaws with this guy, other than him not being able to store his weapon in either of his modes. And that's honestly a pretty common problem with toys. And Transformers have had that problem plenty of times before, so it's not that big of one. So he's really is a great one. I think he's one of the best Transformers of this really good Transformers year, toy-wise anyway. Fiction, maybe not. But the toys for Transformers has been very wonderful this year, and Transformers is a toy first brand, so that is a good thing. And yeah, I definitely think Skybite is a worthy addition to a Transformers collection. And I think I've definitely rambled on enough here. So, thank you all for watching, and see you guys around.
Behold, humans! It is the glorious Skybite! Megatron's mightiest warrior, here to recite a haiku to you all. Ahem. If you enjoyed, then you should subscribe for more, so the fun won't end. Thank you for the audience.